Welcome to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Hello.
Each week we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you. I didn't mean each week, I mean each episode, because every day we're talking about Dr. DC's stuff.
Wow.
Because
Your eyes are so droopy. Your eyes are so droopy that your voice should sound like this.
Each
no.
week we talk about the weird, the wonderful world of DC.
Welcome to the Dr. DC podcast. I'm Droopy Dog producer Richard.
My name is producer Richard. Each week we talk about DC.
all right. This is the 10th episode of the Dr. DC podcast.
10 of 12. We're still so far.
10 of 12. 10 of 12.
7 of 9.
Oh, so hot.
She was, eh?
So hot. Like,
Do you know what? This is simultaneously not that woke of me, but also like I think a fair observation. I've been watching a lot of Next Generation. I think Deanna Troi. This is completely irrelevant to her character. I think she's more attractive when she's wearing the official Starfleet uniform in the blue, with her like actual like lieutenant commander pips, than she is when she's in just like her counselor like unitard.
I agree with that.
Like late season Deanna Troi. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot.
Yeah. Like where she's not sure if she wants to get back with Will Riker when they find his like transporter clone, Tom Riker, who's been living on that base by himself for 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Late season Deanna, man. That's where it's at. Speaking of which, Marina Sirtis on the most recent episode of Titans. Did you watch it?
No.
The most recent episode of Titans?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's like a flashback episode about the origins of Hawk and Dove. But Marina Sirtis is in there, man. Fucking Deanna Troi.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah. I mean, don't watch it right now. We've got a thing to do, but...
Whatever. Let's get to this piece of news for today, which is Titans actor tease possible Arrowverse crossover. We
already did this.
I'm sorry. I'm so drunk. We did this? Yes, we did. Did we do this? Oh, Brightburn trailer. James Gunn is apparently releasing a movie that subverts Superman's origin as a horror movie.
Yeah, so I've seen the trailer for this, and even like the text, like the cards in the trailer that are like, directed by, they make it look like Man of Steel or like it's like the same font. It should, like, you expect it to say Zack Snyder, Man of Steel, blah, 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 blah. It looks like it's like deliberately riffing on the idea of Superman, but I think the idea is that instead of it being like a benevolent alien baby or whatever, is that it's something like evil and horrible that crash lands on Earth. It? Yeah, go for it. I think it's a good idea. Why not subvert that? Like subverting like a common idea or a widely held belief in pop culture is like the basis of art. So Superman at this point is a pretty widely held piece of pop culture. I think it makes total sense to subvert it. So yeah, go for it. I think it looks fucking interesting. I'll watch it.
I like James Gunn as a director.
I didn't realize he was working on anything. To be honest, I was kind of surprised that it was him.
Yeah, honestly, like I didn't really like the what's the punch one? The
Sucker Punch?
Sucker Punch. I didn't like
Zack
that.
Snyder.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That was weird.
No, that's Zack Snyder.
Okay. Well, then I like James Gunn. Everything he's done.
Get fucked. Release the Snyder Cut.
I like James Gunn. So let's see what he's got.
Are we gonna watch it?
I mean, you've already seen it, so
okay. Well, so you just said let's see what he's got.
I mean, like let's see when the movie comes out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I agree.
It's not necessarily
good banter.
It's not DC, but it's DC related, so I was interested in it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all for it. Superman, if anything, it just solidifies the fact that Superman made us so a part of our pop cultural consciousness, right?
Yeah.
That like if we're subverting that idea, it means that he's like that's a thing that's like in our minds, in our subconscious. So yeah, of course, go for it. I mean, that's only tribute to Superman, basically.
I'm stoked for this. I think anything that's like similar to this seems like a cool idea.
And really, when you think of it, the story of Superman told from the other side, when you're not thinking of like Jor-El and Krypton, it's that this nice like farm couple, a fucking like alien spaceship crashes and they raise a fucking alien. That's a horror movie.
It is, and you can understand.
It's very easy to subvert that. So yeah, of course you should do it. That's fucking hilarious.
It makes you go like, Lex isn't that crazy.
I mean, I think the point is that they're lucky that it's Superman. Lex misses that point, but Amanda Waller gets it. Amanda Waller acknowledges that Superman is good and is there to do good.
But thank God that this one was Superman, because the next one probably
exactly.
won't be.
She sees it as that. Lex just sees all aliens equal bad for humans. Amanda Waller sees like Superman, we got fucking lucky, but the next alien that comes might not be fucking Superman. So
God damn, that's the one part of Suicide Squad that I love is when she says that.
Exactly. And she's right. Amanda Waller has like maybe like the most pragmatic approach to Superman, right? Like that's there's something in there.
You can't argue with her for that. Like it's true.
Totally.
I mean, even like
especially in the context of the DCEU where like the world has been fine and then you just all of a sudden have an alien like that can do anything. That's a scary world. So
it's true. Like even our greatest minds on Earth are like, if aliens come, they're probably not coming to like just be friends.
Exactly.
It's just blatant. All right, well, let's start hitting our questions.
Let's do it.
We're going to touch the Twitter first.
Twitter.
Ooh, you got like a Twitter. Like it's.
I think I'm better 10 drinks than I ever have been.
I can't believe I'm having 10 drinks. I'll be honest, the most I've ever drank was my birthday when I turned 21.
Okay. Which was?
I had 21 gin and tonics.
Wow. I once set a record at like a local chain restaurant on Martini night, which was 18. But that was excessive. I kind of made an ass of myself.
How many did you have?
I had 18.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
I'll tell you what happened to me. I threw up in the cab on the way home.
Okay.
I was living with my girlfriend at the time.
Right.
And I remember getting home and she was like, I was throwing up in the bathroom.
Super classy.
I also threw up in the cab too.
Of course.
And the cab driver didn't like that. But
really?
Yeah, he stopped in the middle of the road and made me throw up on the street.
Yeah.
And then
rightfully so.
Yeah, and then we ended up at home, and I was throwing up in the bathroom. And my girlfriend was just like, "You need to go to bed," like, because at that point I'd stopped throwing up and I was just like leaning my head on the toilet, like feeling terrible. And she's like, "You need to go to sleep." And I started just like throwing my hands at her, like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And this kept happening to the point where it was almost like fist throwing at her because I was so drunk.
Are you like confessing to hitting your girlfriend?
I didn't actually ever hit her. I just threw them towards her, like, "Get the fuck away from me!" I didn't hit her. I swear.
Is this the thing we have to edit?
No.
Okay.
No. So she was just like, "I can't get him to bed. He's just sleeping on the toilet. I want to go to bed." And I'm drunk and we're all drunk and Richard's not feeling well on the bathroom floor.
Right.
So then my roommate at the time, who was this friend of mine, who's this dude, he shows up and he was just like, "Hey, what's going on?" And my girlfriend at the time was like, "He won't get up off the bathroom floor. I need him to go to bed. He's not throwing up anymore." So he walks into the bathroom and goes, "Hey, buddy, why don't you go to the bathroom? Why don't you go to the bedroom?" And I go, "Okay, cool." And I get up and I go.
Wow.
She was not happy with that.
I bet she wasn't.
No.
I could see that.
Yeah. So our first question from Twitter comes from Puff Cheek Pastries. Puff Cheek Pastries makes lots of food, makes delicious treats for me. I wish I could cook. Puff Cheek Pastries, Axe. I don't know. I don't actually know how well that went because I'm beyond.
It sounded relatively in tune.
That's fine. Puff Cheek Pastries, Axe. Wow, I can't.
Yo, what's the Axe? Yo, what's he ax? What's he ax us?
He asks, what were the circumstances that led to the Batman and Spider-Man crossover?
Oh, fuck.
And how was this handled / referenced in the continuity, or if at all?
I actually think it wasn't either way. Like, I don't think there's anything in the arcs of Batman or Spider-Man that led up to that or fed out of that. I think the Batman-Spider-Man crossover is just kind of like totally its own thing. I think it's its own little sort of silo of story. I mean, I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that if you just read Batman continuity, you'll never get to a bit where they're like, oh, where did Batman go? He disappeared to a different Earth. Was it the 616th Earth? I don't think I don't think there's anything like that in there, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that Batman Spider-Man story is just its own thing and likely was just about a cash grab thing because the comic industry was dying, et cetera, because of when it was.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I actually don't think there's lead up or repercussions to that. I think it's
it was
totally
just like a random thing that they did.
I think it's its own bubble. I could be wrong about that because that's pretty specific, but I'm pretty sure it just exists as its own thing. I don't think there's like required reading leading up to it in either Batman or Spider-Man continuity.
Well, I mean, that's something I want to read. Did you read it? Is it cool?
I think I read it a long time ago. I actually don't remember it all.
Because that'd be interesting. That's an interesting
I'm sure it's fine because it's Batman and Spider-Man. Like, how could you go wrong, right? But
right, like those are two pretty great characters.
But that being said,
wow,
do I remember it particularly?
No,
not really.
No,
could that be because I'm 10 wines in? Maybe,
possibly.
Yeah, but but no, I
can
think
start sentences. I just can't finish them at this point.
That was the perfect sentence to prove that too. Yeah, I mean, in terms of canon, I don't think there's actual anything like going in or leading out of that. I think it's just its own little thing.
Yeah. Ooh, burp drunk.
Oh, I've been doing that for a bit now.
Yeah. All right. Well, our next question comes from our sexy texter himself, Cosmic DM.
Oh, sliding in them Cosmic DMs.
Space is sexy now.
Yeah, they're galaxy dick pic.
Give me a universe of dick pics.
Sorry, was Galaxy not good enough?
No, I wanted more.
Get fucked.
Cosmic DM asks, real quick, does Krypton have a history of space travel? Or was Papa L just really hoping launching his baby into space was going to work?
I love that image. That like a civilization that's never attempted space travel.
Like, hope.
The planet's exploding. Let's throw our baby in the sky.
Good luck. Ooh.
Oh, I do fucking love that image. That's really funny. Yes, Krypton has a history of space travel. In comics and in the films, the idea is that a more ancient version of Krypton was maybe more exploratory, less insular, and that was maybe a better version of Kryptonian society. Yeah, space travel is definitely within the cultural DNA of Krypton. It's not a thing that Jor-El just invented. He's not the first one to attempt space travel. He didn't just put his baby in a fucking rocket and like roll the dice.
Come on, Red.
But I think the idea is that maybe Krypton hadn't done it in quite some time. That they become insular, sort of self-centered, self-focused. They'd abandoned exploration and sort of progress that way in terms, and I think that's implied as part of their downfall, certainly in the DCEU, but also I think in the comics. Yeah, to answer your question, Krypton does have a history of space travel.
That's awesome.
It wasn't just like Jor-El being like, what if we put a bunch of like fucking fuel in a tube and put the baby in the top of it?
You see that black stuff that happens at nighttime? Let's just put our baby into that black stuff.
Yeah, the black stuff's far away from the exploding planet.
Yeah, it seems like it probably could be safe.
Yeah, no, there is a history of space travel. Jor-El wasn't quite that insane.
Yeah.
Still
insane.
Still markedly insane, but not that insane.
Oh, well, with that, the Dr. DC podcast will be back after this quick break. Hey, residents. I want to take this opportunity to do a huge shout out to the Brain Freeze Podcast Network. If you go to brainfreezepodcast.com, you can learn more about the amazingly fun and diverse podcasts on this network. Obviously, you'll find the Dr. DC podcast, but have you listened to the Goods from the Woods yet? Each episode dives into a unique cultural phenomenon from cryptozoology to Elvis. Each week provides a hilarious history dive into some of the strange happenings across the world. Or how about the Headbangers with Holmes podcast? Did you listen to emo, hardcore, pop punk, maybe screamo, or one of the other million punk and metal subgenres in the early 2000s? Then you'll love Headbangers. Each week, they interview a different touchstone of the music back then, and along the way, you'll learn about what it's like to grow up playing music. How about the newest podcast on Brain Freeze, the Deli Boys? It's hosted by the beloved comedy writers Evan Susser and David Phillips, who set off to do something never before done. Rank 14 Jewish delis. How would you like to hear 3 amazing comedians talk about the things they hate most in life? Well, then you need to check out the Hate Locker podcast. Every other week, the hosts of the Hate Locker argue whose hate is more poignant by discussing the things that bug them most, usually joined by a hilarious comedian guest. If you're talking about brain freeze, then you have to mention the Squeezebox podcast. Going for over a decade now, these 2 best friends talk about their lives, jobs, society, and often a lot of dick jokes and wordplay. Usually about dick jokes. No matter what you like, Brain Freeze has something you will probably enjoy. So go to brainfreezepodcast.com to learn more, or go to whichever podcast provider you use and look for one of these great podcasts. All right, back to the show. And we're back.
Hey!
Oh. First question comes from, still on Twitter, Chad Bokelman.
Bogle.
Who asks, I publicly admit defeat.
We finally did it.
That's right.
Sound the alarms.
That's right. Ring the alarm.
Light the beacon.
He goes on to say, I understand the basic template and setting of DC's Convergence event. Patchwork of different times, events, places within the DCU. But I cannot fathom the resolution, the why of the series. Help a DC fan out.
Convergence in general is not a thing we talk about very much on this podcast. Convergence also feels like a failed sort of half attempt at what DC Rebirth ended up being. The basic premise is that there's this planet beyond the sort of realm of the multiverse called Telos. And on Telos, Brainiac, this sort of multiversal Brainiac, has collected fragments of lost timelines and things like that. So there's like the Flashpoint world, there's pre-crisis, there's post-crisis, there's pre-zero hour, post-zero hour, pre-infinite crisis, all of Kingdom Come, all of these different worlds. And it sort of exists in domes. And then Brainiac disappears. See New 52 Futures End for how that happens. And then the planet itself, Telos, which has its own consciousness, basically pits those like domed cities against each other. So structurally, it's kind of like, I believe, Marvel's Contest of Champions, which is the idea of like different timelines and that fighting each other. It's sort of like a fabricated, arbitrary way to pit worlds against each other. But in terms of the main story of Convergence, ultimately what ends up happening is Telos and Brainiac both realize sort of the folly of their ways and want to return the different cities and the different worlds to their timelines, but they can't. And the reason they can't is that they're blocked by the original Crisis on Infinite Earths from 1985, which resulted in the death of the infinite multiverse. And because it destroyed infinite multiple Earths, they can't return every city to where they've been. So they actually send pre-crisis Superman, Lois Lane, and Supergirl, as well as Parallax, Hal Jordan, and maybe a couple other characters. They send them back to the original Crisis to defeat the Anti-Monitor. And it's implied that they do. And then some Earths, the history is kind of half merged together. And then in other cases, it's implied that there are additional multiverses. So the structure is still that we have a multiverse with 52, according to Metal 53 Earths. And then there are additional multiverses beyond that. But the idea is that infinite Earths now exist again. Some have been merged together, like Earth 2 and things like that, and some are just their own thing. But the idea is that the only way to sort of end convergence, to send all the worlds back, was to undo the resolution of the original crisis, which means that currently in DC continuity, in the original Crisis on Infinite Earths does not now end with the destruction of Infinite Earths and the merging of 5 Earths into one. It actually ends with the Anti-Monitor's defeat and all of the Infinite Earths, or most of the Infinite Earths, surviving. That's a big retcon that we haven't really explored the full depth of. In the immediate aftermath, we had pre-Crisis pre-Flashpoint rather, Superman and Lois existing on the New 52 Earth with their son, sort of in secret. That was sort of retconned in Superman Reborn, where they were merged into one being with the New 52 Superman's timeline. We had pre-Flashpoint Parallax, Hal Jordan, encounter the New 52 Hal Jordan in Green Lantern 50 from the New 52 run. But where is that Parallax's whereabouts now? Unknown / he's been folded back into continuity or something like that. Convergence was kind of like a half-baked event. It could have been the genesis point of rebirth, of like the thing that we're in now, which is like sort of resetting some continuity. But they kind of only half-assed it, and it was really more just about, like, don't you want to see Flashpoint Hawkman fight, like, so-and-so? Like, fight Nightwing and Oracle?
Yeah.
And it was like, I mean, I kind of want to see that, but, like, I don't mind Convergence as an event for all of the tie-ins, but the actual Convergence series is kind of boring. It's not that good. It's sort of a half-baked event, but essentially that's the idea. The original crisis kind of gets in the way of the resolution of Convergence, so they send some heroes back to alter the original Crisis on Infinite Earths so that they can restore all of these worlds that technically didn't exist, but now do again.
Yeah. I'm gonna admit I haven't really listened that much to what you said because I'm super.
Oh, really? All of those perfectly formed words said otherwise.
Because I poured a lot of wine just on myself. Like, I got it all over my pants and my seat.
How? I have the wine bottle.
But I have a glass of wine.
Jesus.
And I tried to pour it in my mouth and it ended up on my arm and my leg.
Right. The trick is to rest it on your lips.
Yeah, that was the intention.
That's what I said.
That's what she said.
Rest it on your lips.
Next question comes from Stump Chunkman.
Step into the stump. Stump Chunkman.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're so drunk.
Stump by the way, Stump has been watching Supernatural since we started since we did that episode
in the Patreon.
That's right, and he's loving it.
Okay,
he's 5 seasons in now.
Wow, do you know how far in I am?
1 episode?
Yeah.
You should watch more.
I'm okay.
No. But I think the Patreon subscribers would really appreciate it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm fine.
Patreon subscribers.
It's not like burning me up that I haven't watched more.
Patreon subscribers, if this is something that you really want, tweet at Dr. DC. Because I feel like this is something I want. And Stump, I know that this is something you want because you're at the end of season 5 and you know how good that season ends. Oh my God, it's so good. Reach out to the doctor and push him towards it. If you're paying for this content, you're paying for it. So why not?
Yeah, but it's not like the Supernatural Patreon.
It could be. Let's see what Stump has to ask.
All right, let's do it.
He asks a very simple question, which is, who's your favorite Robin?
I think I talked about this, maybe not. Actually, it might have been last DocMas. I've always been a Dick Grayson person. I love Dick Grayson. That's the Robin I know. I love Nightwing. I love sort of his trajectory as a character. That being said, I think I've recently come around to why people love Tim Drake.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and by recently, I mean, I think I talked about this last DocMas, so it's been like at least a year. But the idea that he's maybe the perfect inheritor of the best of Batman.
Yeah.
He has all of the intellect and the heart and the drive of Batman and very little of the tragedy and things like that. Now, DC Rebirth has tried to sort of push Tim into sort of a darker place, but in general, Tim is pretty in the light. He's a good Robin. He's the Robin that saves Batman from losing himself when Jason Todd dies. Mm-hmm. He becomes Robin to save Batman, which is maybe like the greatest act a Robin's ever achieved, right?
Yeah.
I will always be a Dick Grayson fan. That is the Robin that I know and love, and I love what's come of that character. Fuck you, Rick Grayson. I will say, though, that I have a deep, deep appreciation for Tim Drake now in a way that I didn't before, like a year ago.
Yeah.
So if I have to definitively answer this, I think it's still Dick Grayson, but like I'm on board the Tim Drake train. Yeah.
I like that.
How about you?
I think Damian Wayne.
Really?
Yeah.
That's your Robin.
I think that, like, obviously.
Why is that?
I'll say this. Dick Grayson obviously is my first and is my, like, when I think of Robin, that's what I think
It's hard not to have Dick Grayson in there.
Because, I mean, that's the first that's the most used version of Robin.
For the longest time.
Yeah. That's the most widely used version. Aside from that, I think the idea of Damian Wayne is so cool.
Right.
That had there not been those other Robins, it would have felt really like natural to be like, if you had one Robin that was just this like orphan who you had brought in, what's the next idea?
Like, skilled assassin.
Yeah, like that feels like the natural.
To me, he only works though when Dick Grayson is Batman. I don't like Damian Wayne with Bruce.
It feels so much like father and son.
Well, but also, like, you can't have two morose things. You also can't have Bruce
true.
You can't have Bruce be the light one. You know what I mean?
Damian is very much Batman to the nth degree.
You can have Dick be the light one in the relationship. Bruce doesn't work that way, right? It doesn't... To me, it actually... I mean, it sucks to rob Damian of a father, but it doesn't work to have Damian work with Bruce. To me, it's got to be Dick and Damian. So whether that means Nightwing and Robin or Batman and Robin, it's got to be Dick and Damian for me.
I agree with that. All right, let's go to the next question, which is from Dave Rossi.
Dashel, turn off the podcast.
That's right, Dashel, get the hell out of here.
Thank you for sending a question in, but for fuck's sakes, turn off the podcast.
Seriously. Dave asks, which DC hero would win in a drinking contest? No powers.
So you say dwinking contest?
Which DC hero could win a drinking contest?
Right.
Which hero could win a drinking contest? No powers. Which villain the same?
Oh, no powers. Oh, interesting, because I was immediately going to say like Superman or something.
Yeah. No powers.
No powers, huh?
Villain, I would say Gorilla Grodd. Just from pure size.
Just for like body mass?
For villain, Gorilla Grodd, without a doubt.
Clayface, he's not even human, basically.
I think hero, I think you're talking Booster Gold.
No, Booster's an easy drunk.
No, I think he's a partier.
I do too, but I think he's an easy drunk.
Really? Okay. What do you got?
I think you and Booster have a lot in common.
Fuck yourself.
I think Booster would get
hero.
Booster would get 2 or 3 episodes into DocMas.
I'm a hero.
I'm this greatest hero you never heard of. Protecting time, motherfucker, from the 25th century.
Yeah, that's right. Even from the future. I don't know.
I got a fucking robot. His name's Skeets. Skeet,
motherfucker. Who do you think? Who's your choice?
Who can hold their liquor the best without powers?
Yep.
I think Hal Jordan's up there, or Oliver Queen.
Ooh, really? Why?
Because they're both party animals, right?
Is Hal Jordan a party animal?
Oh, totally. He's a fucking ladies' man. He's an Air Force pilot. He's good looking. He's sort of a Casanova. I think Hal Jordan or Oliver Queen could probably hold their booze pretty well. Bruce can't because like he's so practiced in not like obstructing his senses. You know, even in the Dark Knight or something, or in the Dark Knight Returns, they're like, "Oh, remember all those years where you were drinking ginger ale and pretending it was champagne?"
I guess, but he's in so much training with like poison and like.
But I think his training is his self restraint. I think Bruce isn't actually an easy drunk.
Oh. So Bruce, and who's your villain?
Oh, sorry. So I think I think it's Oliver or Hal.
Oliver,
for
sorry.
For
Hal.
villain,
Hal.
I think I mean, Grodd's a good one just because of the size.
Yeah.
It's tough to fight that one, but oh fuck. Let's say Vandal Savage, because he's been alive for 50,000 years. He's had so much time to build up tolerance.
Ooh, that's smart.
I'm going to say Vandal Savage.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've done these regular questions. Let's go on to the one from our comedian friend, Kyle Clark,
All right, let's have it.
and his podcast, This Is Rad.
Many free plugs, by the way. How much are we getting paid?
And literally not enough.
Oh,
'cause
for
it's
fuck.
$0. Kyle,
What a great producer.
Well, you know what? You're lucky I'm conscious. What? Kyle asks, what other shows should be on that DC streaming thing? So I like to interpret this question as, what shows would you like on this DC streaming
Like, which
thing?
existing ones should they be
No.
restreaming, or what new ones
What
should they
new
make?
ones should they be making? That's how I'm interpreting
Legion of
it.
Superheroes, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
That quickly?
Something set in the fucking future with a bunch of crazy powers and a bunch of fucking misfits, like infectious lass and shit like that. Like, if you frame it as like a bunch of people who don't make the Legion, you frame it as like the Legion of substitute heroes trying to earn their place among the actual Legion of superheroes. I think that's a fucking hilarious, great show with weird aliens set in the future. It's kind of Star Trek-y, but it's also
I like
kind of
that.
funny.
I like that.
Like, I think that's the way to do it. I think that's what I want for DC Universe. Yeah. Legion of Superheroes.
I want Booster Gold and Blue Beetle as having a show.
I mean, that's your go-to.
That's, that is, but Blue Beetle.
Blue and gold. You want that? Yeah.
Blue and Gold. Go Blue. Michigan State.
Bum, 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 bum,
Bum, bum, bum, bum. Go Blue and Gold.
Let's go blue.
Well, speaking.
My gym teacher in middle school was super obsessed with the Michigan Wolverines to
That's
the
a
point
great
where
team.
if you wanted if you wanted to be cool in that school and be on like the athletic council and stuff like that, you need to like basically pretend to like the Michigan Wolverines.
Really?
I had my parents buy me Michigan Wolverines gear to try and like be cool.
No.
Yeah, legit.
Really?
Yeah. And we're in Canada. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Who gives a shit about Michigan?
That's hilarious.
Sorry, Flint, but like,
I mean,
other
I'm from
Michigan.
Windsor, Ontario originally, so being pro Michigan is actually a big benefit.
Michigan or Michigan State?
Both. I mean, I'm gold blue all the way.
Yeah, I think Michigan's the real one.
Yeah.
Although our school were the Spartans, so we really should have been Michigan State.
My high school was the Clippers.
Well, we were the middle. That was the main.
We were the
school.
Clippers.
My high school were the Sabres.
My middle school was, well, we didn't have middle school. We had grade school and high school, but my grade school was the Vikings.
My grade school was the Terriers.
And
Then the St. Andrews Spartans, and then the Southwood Sabres. And then I went to the University of Waterloo, and we were the Warriors.
We are the Warriors.
I don't think we could have had a worse football team. We lost to a comically bad football team, the University of Toronto Varsity Blues.
Our my high school's junior team was actually way better than our senior team, but
Our high school football team was so bad that in my last year of high school, when I was firmly established as like a band geek, I was invited to be on the team.
I would think
Not to try out, but they were just like, "Hey, do you want to be on the team?" And keep in mind, I was like 70 pounds lighter.
oh,
then.
because I was gonna say, I'm like looking at you now. I'm like, I could see you as a football player.
If I looked like me now, it would make more sense. But I was like 70 pounds lighter, and I was basically like, I play saxophone in concert band. Like,
can you guess how much I weighed in grade 9?
150.
98 pounds.
No, that's a lie.
I swear to God.
That's a lie.
I swear to God, I weighed in at the beginning of grade 9 as 98 pounds.
At the end of university, when I was like 21 or 22,
Yeah.
I weighed 170. I currently weigh 235.
You're a beast of a man, though. You're the, what, 6'3"?
I'm almost 6'3", yeah.
Jesus
I'm just
Christ.
shy of 6'3".
You're a monster. That's not your fault.
I'm a monster. Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay.
You should
All
see
right.
my dick. Got that Vanier.
That's right. Papa D's got the D. Surprised he could even have a child, because who can fit that thing inside of anything?
Thank you. I think.
I don't know if it's a compliment for your mom or your dad, but
I don't think it's a compliment for anyone.
with that, let's head on to our favorite part of the podcast, which is the Dial Doc.
Yep.
Which is a part of the podcast where we take inspiration from the Dial H for Hero comics from old times, where an individual would step inside of a phone booth, dial Hero through those little spinny dial things, and would turn into a random
rotary dial.
Yeah, whatever. Would turn into a random character, whether they were they were a hero because they dialed Hero. But they were turned into a random hero that was never existed before. If they dialed evil, they were turned into a villain.
Right.
So, do we have any characters possibly created at this point? No.
Do you have one?
I definitely do not, because I've been talking this whole time. So I could vamp a little for you so that you could come up with one.
Oh, I see.
So do you have a character possibly at this time?
Mine is called the Patron Plaid, and Patron Plaid is
Okay.
He sort of takes the form of like a Scottish like Highlander basically.
Yeah.
And Patron Plaid has the power of basically he can turn his like kilt into any tool he needs, but it means that he's naked from the waist down. So he wears a kilt, but no matter what he needs, if he needs like a key to open a door, or if he needs like a jetpack, or if he needs like a rope or anything, he just takes his kilt off and whips it around. And it turns into the tool that he needs, but then he's 100% nude from the waist down.
Well, that could be inconvenient.
Yeah. That's Patron Plaid.
Keeps you a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, it's the Stan Lee model. Every power is a curse.
Okay.
Yeah.
My character's name is the Sun Sorcerer.
Oh, is this because of your sad lamp?
Shut up. Who's from Mayan times.
Okay.
And has the ability to pull the power from the sun.
Hey, quick trivia question. What's like the Mayan? No, sorry, not Mayan. Aztec god of the sun.
It's shut up. That's what it is.
Quetzalcoatl.
Sure, that's what I was gonna say, but I didn't want to make you feel embarrassed because you didn't know.
You're such a good friend.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. So he's the Mayan god,
right?
And he pulls power from the sun and uses that energy to export into a villain. The problem is, obviously, it doesn't work very well.
Sorry, how does he use that energy? Like, can he shoot like solar energy, or is he like Superman, where he just becomes strong?
No. Like Goku, fucking shooting beams of
like
power.
a Hadouken kind of thing.
Yeah, Hadouken.
Sure.
And that is my character.
Wow. And you're so awake.
So awake and sober. If you'd like to send us your characters that you've randomly created, all you need to do is just go on to our social media enterprises and use the hashtag DialDoc.
That's right.
That's #DialDoc.
Oh, yeah, just in case people don't know what a hashtag is. They're listening to podcasts, but they haven't figured out hashtag.
Shut up. Its name is hashtag DIALDOC.
I was 100% convinced you weren't going to make it.
Well, you were wrong.
I had money that you weren't going to make it.
And send us your character that you've randomly created. I would prefer if you had 10 drinks before you did it, because then you'd be on the same pace as us, and that would be very fun.
No,
so
you're smarter than we are. Don't do it.
So how about this? How about for everyone that you've sent in, you also add in how many drinks you've had. So whether it's hashtag 2 drinks, hashtag 10 drinks, which I'd prefer because that's where I'm at.
Hey, what if it's only 3 drinks?
No, you can
Should
do
it be hashtag
drinks.
3 drinks?
No, hashtag 2 drinks. You can do hashtag 4 drinks, but no 3 drinks.
Okay, what about 5?
Hashtag 5 drinks is fine.
That's fine, but not 3?
No, never.
So should you do hashtag 5 drinks, hashtag minus 2 drinks?
That's fine.
That's fine. So
That's fine.
So sorry. Again, it's 2, 4, 5.
Yep.
And then
8. You could do 6, 7, 8.
Oh, you could do 6, 7, and 8. So it's only 3 you can't do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did 3 do to you? You know what? Don't answer it. Let's move on.
I'm like, because I could talk about things that happened to me when I was 3.
no, let's not talk about the rule of threes, huh?
Okay, but if you want to send us that hashtag dial doc, all you have to do is just reach out to us through those various social media accounts, such as our Facebook.
Dr. DC Podcast.
We've got a Twitter account.
At Dr. DC.
We've got an Instagram.
Dr. DC Podcast.
We've got an email.
DrDCPodcast@gmail.com.
There we go. I can see you're a little bit drunk now too.
It's all good.
We've got a subreddit.
r/Dr_DC.
We're having fun conversations. Our buddy is on there a bunch. What's his name? The Shukin fella.
Hey, Shukin!
Shukin. He's on there, but like you guys could be on there too. You could just have conversations with us. It's fun. Subreddits are fun, and you could just have streams of conversations that you guys are not having. But
are you not convinced? Subreddits are fun.
Yeah.
Hashtag subreddits are fun.
Are you guys on Reddit? Because subreddits are fun.
Hashtag 2, but not 3.
That's right. Also, the doc is taking his time to put together these well-articulated articles, as well as I've created some graphics that are on our t-shirts, which you can purchase. All you have to do is go on to our website,
DrDCPodcast.com or .ca.
You just got to click our the archive or the merch, and you can either read our articles or purchase our merch, and those are 2 great things that you can do.
Hey, really important thing that we haven't actually been actively plugging during this.
Tell me about that.
We have a Patreon.
Oh,
you have the potential to get an extra episode of the Dr. DC podcast.
More.
The Dr. DC double dose. And it's only $5 a month. It's patreon.com/DrDC.
It's so cool.
And it's some fun stuff.
We did an hour improv of Alfred, which is our script of what his movie Alfred Begins.
We did an hour improv of Alfred Begins. We did an hour and a half of ranking every DC live action film.
If you think
there's some like weird and fun stuff on there.
If you think episode 10 of me being super drunk is funny, then this is gonna make
and
you
if
shit
you
your
don't
pants.
think it's funny, then Patreon is definitely better than this.
And if you don't think that's funny, then I'm sorry you wasted your money.
No, don't say that, man.
If you want to, you know what I love is when you guys send us like some phone calls. Those are great. All you have to do is call us and leave a voicemail.
This is the longest part of the episode.
All you have to do is take out your iPhone, go to the phone message.
Oh yeah, walk them through it. How does their phone work?
They don't know.
Hey, did your lock screen come up? Put in your password first.
Yeah, you got to do that because if you can't hit the phone button unless you.
Do you have an iPhone 7 or later? Hey Siri, call the Dr. DC podcast.
That's a good point. You could do a Hey Siri.
Jesus.
All you have to do is call the number, which is 208-917-DCEU. Now, I know that sounds complicated because the DCEU, you're like, those aren't numbers.
I mean, so many more words than you need to say.
It's okay because I'll provide you with the actual numbers.
Yeah?
DCEU is really just to remember it easier.
No, that's so easy. Thank you. What's the number?
The tier 208-917 part's the part that's easy to remember.
Yeah.
But the number part, the 4 numbers at the end is the more complicated part. So remember, it's 208-917. Now it's not DCEU. It's actually 3238.
Oh, fuck me.
It's 208-917-3238.
I need more of this fucking spessatine, man.
Spessatino. Oh, I miss my mother-in-law's leaving tomorrow afternoon, so it's gonna be real sad because there's no more spessatino left. But
that's the only way to get it.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not gonna make it.
She's got to move here.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. But also, don't forget to review us and rate us on iTunes. I know that not everybody's got an iPhone or iTunes, or a Mac or whatever. But like, you can still go onto iTunes, create an account. That really helps us out. Because guess what? If we're right now we've got 21 reviews, but if we get to 30, buddy, we're gonna video live stream one of our episodes. So if you think I'm stupid, like audio wise. The video is going to be
you're such a good salesman.
Twice stupider.
Do you know what? You should take more time to talk about this.
It's the last thing I'm saying, so just shut up. So you want to see me, right? Because you want to see how stupid I look. You want to see. Remember how the Doc? How I was like, "Why, Doc? Why are you pointing at stuff? Because nobody can see that."
As he's saying this, I'm literally holding his hair back. This is the point we're at right now.
You can see it. It's episode 10. Tomorrow is going to be 11. I don't know if I'm going to be alive, but you should find out tomorrow and listen. So same Doc time, same podcast network, brain freeze.
Boat.
We got Deli Boys on there now. It's pretty
Yo,
cool.
isn't that dope?
That's so cool.
It's Dr. DC Podcast, Deli Boys, Hate Locker, Squeezebox Podcast, Project
those
Weird,
things.
Headbangers for the Homes, Goods from the Woods.
So many good podcasts on our network.
It's all on the Brain Freeze Podcast Network.
Yeah. The Doc and I have got a sweet network for you, so you should check that out. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow if I'm conscious. Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao. I'm going to click here.
Yo, are you going to make it, bud?
I'm going to click the stop.
All the superheroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.
I would drive a tractor.